The street is my world. I don't pretend to go uptown and be anything fancy. I can, but I find more real in the world that I'm in than I do the tinsel. And the real world is the one I have to deal with every day, you know. Believe me, if I started murdering people, there'd be none of you left.
Let the bass kick.
Playtime been over since y'all dropped the ball. Bound to the continent, there's no asylum for y'all. Pushing the black Asiatic game with Ford L and Pool Bay. Before NOI, I rep draw L all day. How many fakes proclaim to be the reincarnation and claim to be the true head of the Moorish nation? No mention of Mealy Ill, but I read his letters. Dirty Moors mad cause they thought they dead as letters. Many were there when decisions were handed down. Now they claim that Mealy was not ordained, not commissioned, not called or appointed, with divine plans for ages. But Dirty Moors making changes, working with FBI during infiltrations. In a pheasant alleys giving bogey smoke inhalations. And secret wars were made, heads unmade in public mentions. Don't believe, get the minutes of the first convention. Kirkman and Lomax Bey got called out as villains against the prophet Soden and L. Call Givens. Thousands of Moorish Americans followed those leaders that killed the prophet and made Moors parrots, not readers. They don't study, brains hollow. To crush the truth, plant dissension in the ones that follow. Robbed the treasury, felt like they hit the lotto. Took advantage of the faithful Moors in their times of sorrow. Moments still critical, 100 years later, the message. Stick to the principles in your actions, be progressive. Don't sell your soul for a title, take your membership role. Watch out for grand cheeks pushing you in a censorship hole. The sellout was great, now they comfy and won't get the hell out. Active Moors come around, they get clumsy. Not humbly, but act grumpy and jumpy. Active Moors see them touchy and think it's lovely. With faces ugly, I push back so don't shove me. If not for love, it would be just as Dirty Moors get from me. Hitting all reincarnates with writs of discovery and demanding the treasury recovery and law for money. Wearing a fez don't make you a Moorish adept. Dirty Moorish heads are Boy Scouts and cadets. Working for FBI inspectors, slaves for gadgets. Claiming they got pulled, but they really dead magnets. Running a fraud that's done cause new Moors are here. One for all for one profit like musketeers. Bay, not Tampa or Buccaneers. I strike nerves like harp or strings on those puppeteers. Pushing misconceptions as teachings and calling it facts. Swinging my scimitar, tongue not a fireman's axe. Quick to call me out as dirty, say I violate acts. If you don't nationalize, know that I annihilate blacks. Nail them through their palms and incepts on beams of wood. Burn crosses on blacks' lawns in my Moorish hood. Black Klansmen like movie from 1960s. White power, not supremacy like Clayton Bigsby. Now I run through illusions, battling my arch nemesis misconfusion. She's been trying to keep me out of course, facing losses, calling all her negative forces. 99 years passed, Drew Ali said 50 would pass, and you wouldn't know about me, or even know what I brought for you. NOI and UNIA knew about him too. Most thought that they could bury the movement, be in charge, passive and abuse it. But Drew said new Moors would come with eyes open, seeing and knowing, far from hoping. Far from belief in faith, master fruition. Study the laws of nature, activate intuition. One day our wheels of industry will stop, and when it starts again, Moors will be on top. Drew Ali blessed with latent power. Warned you, get out the way or be ground to powder. Drew Ali didn't kill you fast, but he brought you your title and estate vast. Confusion continues to confuse, no remembrance of Maghrib al-Aqsa by Moorish descendants. Now I run through illusions, battling my arch nemesis misconfusion. She's been trying to keep me out of course, facing losses, calling all her negative forces.
Now we can go fast, we can go Rick Smith, light years about what a Moor is. We're not gonna go there. We're gonna go like mad slow. Right? There was probably somebody who didn't refresh that, didn't get to see me. Moor means any dark-skinned person, especially an African Negro. Moor means any dark-skinned person, especially an African Negro. If that is too advanced for you, if that is too advanced to you, then sorry, you're on your own. Can't help you. Don't know what to do for you. Right? Nothing personal, but Can't go any more slower than that. If you don't get that a Moor is any dark-skinned person, especially African Negro, then your brainwash is too gone to fix. You know what I mean? When the guy says, sorry man, we're just gonna have to take your leg. Yeah, but I thought you guys could cut out that little part. No, we're taking the leg. So y'all are like the leg. You just gotta go. Because this is not advanced, right? And you have Kofi Olatunji, right? So, you know, Rami Salam will put up his little video. Kofi Olatunji, this is a dirty Moor from years ago, right? That these dirty Moors, like the little mole in the hole game, just keep popping their head up or whatever like that. Every, 6-8 months they pop their head up out their little hole, sticking their chest out, acting like they're in control, right? He comes on the video talking about Cujo's too stubborn and obstinate to change. Now, I've put it on the record before that, I'm Earth sign. So, Earth is fairly stubborn. You know what I mean? You might not want to beat your head off me. You will hurt yourself because I'm Earth. Right? No intellectual BS with me because I'm Earth. That's just what it is, not me. Blame the stars. Right? That's just what it is. So, there's no refusing to change or whatever like that. It is what it is. Right? Even if I'm mud, I eat you. Even if I'm mud, you're done. Right? If I mix with water, you're done. Trust me. And I'm son of Olokun. So to mix with water and be mud, to done you guys is easy. But we love you. And we're just wanting to be left alone to uplift fallen humanity. We don't need you people playing your little slander campaign. Because then when we, respond, you're never going to call into the show. You're going to stay being a bitch-ass Negro and not call into the show. Leave stupid comments and all that stuff. Never call into the show. Numbers been sitting on Canaanland Moors for the temple. I get calls all the time. I check the messages personally. You guys still too punk-ass to leave a message. You wouldn't even leave a message. So we know that you guys are those punks from back in the day, the same punks who like to pull people over, right, and abuse them because they were a punk in high school. So they go get the job as a highwayman or a bus driver, and then they sit on their fat ass or whatever, and they're not gonna they're not gonna lower the bus for the sister with the baby carriage and stuff like that to get in. They're gonna be punk asses and have the bus 5 feet off the ground, like some hydraulic freaking competition, and tell her get the stuff in the car while the freaking bus is going like this, 5 feet off the ground. Right? These are the people that you're dealing with. Who, on the other side, Rami Salam El is grouping with everybody who's about birthrights and saying that I'm mean and that approach is not going to work. I don't give a hell about people who don't care about their nationality and birthrights. I already put that on the record. Family, get a pass because you're family. Right? Anybody else? You on some BS? You go over there with your BS. I'm not hearing it because I'm Moorish American. Just like Chinese aren't hearing it, just like Turks aren't hearing it, just like Hindus aren't hearing it. You think they got time to waste worrying about what Negroes doing? No, they're going about here, they're doing whatever they got to do. That's our approach. I can give a hell about some Negro, black, colored people who don't want to know about their national and birthrights. Those that want to know, hey, come on down. What's good? Islam, black power, or whatever. Like, what you want to know? Let's get the building going on. Right? So, because individuals like Kofi Olatunji play this, stick their head up their hole, right? They play this game. Stick their head up their hole. We let them play. That's a game that they could only play by themselves. And we're boosting them. We're gonna call their name because we want everybody to know who these losers are. Nobody already told you don't endanger your life with a fool. A loser is a fool. Because he'll do anything to make a name for himself or herself. And the educated fool, oh, they're a fool dead on. They're such a fool, they don't even know that they're a fool. Right? Want to give a shout out to Brother Aerial View and One Shot Enterprise for their interview that they did at the barbershop. Again, Brother Keith Bey, who is Grant Hill's personal barber. Personal barber, right? And when you go to his store, his shop, they got the Moroccan flag up and all that. Trust me, if he knew Grant Hill since junior high school or whatever like that, trust me, he knows about Moors. And if he's going to be sitting in the chair, let a Moor cut his head, because, Moors are supposed to be public enemy number one, you know what I mean? You don't want Moors to do anything for you because, they got the bucket hats and they say Allah and Islam and, right? They're a prophet and, they're crazy. They're in a sect and a cult. Well, Grant Hill, make a cult member cuts Grant Hill's hair. I mean, Grant Hill's in a cult too, isn't it? Oh, but you guys watch basketball, you listen to his commentary and all that stuff, give him applause and stuff like, oh yeah, good commentary on that basketball game and stuff like that. But he knows about Moors. What do you know about Moors? A Moor cuts his hair. A Moor is Grant Hill's barber. Let that digest. A Moor, a Moorish American Muslim who has a fez and all that stuff, studies Moor's Order of the Round Table, Great Seal, Noble Drew Ali, everything. R.B.G. publications, Canaanland Moors, and he cuts Grant Hill's hair. I mean, if Moors are so bad and so evil, Grant Hill shouldn't let no Moor cut his hair if Moors are so evil. Moors put people in slavery and all that stuff, then, you know what I mean? Like, you look at the pictures, he's rather comfortable in the chair. Right? So Islam to Aerial View for putting it on the record. Appreciate that. Islam Canaanland Moors, Islam Grand Sheikh Kudro. This is Brother Ray L. A couple of days ago, I received a phone call from R. Neal Bey speaking against Grand Sheikh Kudro, claiming that he is insubordinate and going against the Prophet's teachings. Here is a few questions I composed from the conversation between R. Neal Bey and myself to get some clarification on these matters. Why hasn't Grand Sheikh Kudro donated to the Grand Major Temple nor go to any of the conventions? Well, the same reason why the Hebrew guy is calling out to R.B.G. and all that stuff right now, because of a certain letter, and certain people went up into certain people's houses and they saw pedophilia, porn and stuff like that, is why I don't go to no conventions. Second, because we were taught me and Neal Bey, because we were there with the Moors who ran into the place and found the stuff, which is why they even left. Remember a few classes ago, interestingly, that he's coming up now. But remember some classes ago, we were talking about when I went to Chicago. All that time, like, Neal Bey was around. When I'm talking about the fleet of cars with their own tags and stuff like that, Neal Bey was around those times, and that was not with the Moors who are being called with pedophilia stuff right now, who Neal Bey and them are down with now, today. Because remember, you know, there was a sellout in the people who left the pedophilia Moors and did their own thing, because they're like, forget that, we're not down with no pedophilia. They left. And they had Mecca on lock, these Moors. Right? The Grand Major Temple Moors infiltrated that. That shut down, and then the heads of that scattered. Some people went into Yoruba or whatever. Some people went back to being Negro black colored. Some people just went underground, and some people went back to the pedophilia people. Second reason why I haven't been to any of those conventions. The same Moors who had all the tags and stuff like that, that gave us our charter and all that, right? Those same Moors told me personally, Neal Bey was there, well, he's the main person that was there. Cujo, we're going to give you a charter, make you a Grand Chief. You know, we're going to have to put you through the Arab Chamber and all that stuff, because, you know, dirty Moors are going to question, did you go through the Arab Chamber if you have the title Grand Chief? So we're going to make sure you go through the Arab Chamber, so you're going to, because you are prophecy. Then they went, they pulled out the paper with the article. Then they said, Noble Drew Ali was supposed to come to Toronto, set up Moor Science Temple and all that stuff. So we see this as prophecy happening. So we're going to give you everything it is that you need. And what we're going to do is we're going to make you not only Divine Minister and Grand Sheikh, but we're also going to make you Grand Governor. Why? Because Canaanland is almost like its own jurisdiction, because nobody's ever been there from, you know, here. Nobody's ever ventured there to start anything to do with Moorish. Like, you came from there. So we might as well send you back with everything. Since you're the only one ever that came from this place called Canaanland, that they had the Washita map that said Canaanland on it. Right? That's how we came up with the name Canaanland, because it was on the Washita map. We didn't make it up. It was on the Washita map. That's why we said Canaanland Moors. Those Moors said, we're going to make you Grand Governor, because Canada is its own jurisdiction. No Moor has ever been there. You're the only Moors there, so you guys are going to be the representation. Nobody's got nothing on you, not even the Queen, because you're the governor for there. This is what the Moors told me. Right? Now, if I'm a Grand Governor in my own jurisdiction, I should have my own plane to go wherever I want to go. You know, because I'm a dignitary. As far as Moor Science Temple is concerned, I'm a dignitary. Like I said, when we went to Chicago, the Moors came and met us at the station. When I said, oh, my bag's right here. They're, oh, no, don't get your bags, you know what I mean? We'll get those. They took my bags. They put them in the car. They opened the door for me, you know what I mean? Made me sit in, make sure my jacket wasn't in the stuff like that, you know, pull my jacket in. They closed the door and all that. So that's what I came up in as far as Moor Science Temple. So I'm not expecting anything less from anybody else who claims that they're Moor Science Temple. Now, when 7 years go by and just as many conventions, and not one of these heads of the whoever called, because I mean, you know, it's not like they didn't know who Cujo is. I mean, like, we put Canaanland on the map. Ain't nobody know about Canaanland before us. This was just barren land, Europeans, Eskimos, and whatever else they thought was up here, as far as Moors are concerned, right? So if I'm a dignitary and they're not paying for me to come to convention, to hell with their convention. So that's the two reasons why I've never been to a convention, and now with the stuff coming out, the letter and stuff like that, because remember, we come from the Moors who knew about that BS. That's why they left. That's why I went on that video that the Hebrew guy made and told him, do not compare Moorish science temples. You can't do that, because not every Moorish American is down with that Moorish science temple that you guys are throwing darts at. Not every Moor belongs to that. So you can't say Moors generally. Right? And again, you guys, Hebrew guy, Michael, whatever your name is, you're late. How you bringing out that stuff now like that's something? That ain't nothing. Those are the dirty Moors who infiltrated the movement and caused all this confusion in the Moorish movement. Obviously, they're going to be involved in some fuckery. Obviously, they're dirty Moors. What do you mean? Why wouldn't they be involved in some, you know what I mean? Polite. He's a dirty Moor. Why wouldn't he be involved with some tranny stuff? Why are you surprised? Why are you surprised? Rob people, steal people's finance from whatever. Sonetter, dirty Moors. Roy Bay told you that he's dirty. He even left him. But then he went with the pedophilia Moors. Which is like, okay, well, I mean, you know, you're going to leave the rat den to go in the mongoose den? Right? So that's why for that. Okay? Second question. And don't forget, don't worry, I know we started, you know what I mean, the mishap with the stuff. So I owe you about 10 minutes, don't worry. If C. Kirkman Bey brought us the black fez, how can Kudrow wear one and diss the Moor who brought the black fez to us? Once again, for these nincompoop Moors that claim that they're in some type of authority in the Moorish movement, Moorish Science Temple, or whatever Moorish, a fez is before Noble Drew Ali. So to hell with Kirkman Bey bringing black fez to anybody. Fez is before Noble Drew Ali. You got pictures of Noble Drew Ali with a black fez. Come on now. You can tell a black fez from a red fez in a black and white picture. You can tell there's a big difference between a black fez and a red fez in a black and white picture. So any picture that you see with Noble Drew Ali that's black and white, that has a fez, you tell me if that fez is red or black. And if you're saying that that's a red fez, you tell me how Charles Kirkman Bey, who came after Noble Drew Ali, is the bringer of black fezzes. You tell me that black fezzes haven't been around before Kirkman Bey? Really? Because I wear a black fez means that I rep Kirkman Bey? No. Because Kirkman Bey's black fez had the markings on it. There's no markings on the black fez that I wear. But instead of these dirty Moors addressing the Kirkman Bey Moors who, you know what I mean? Because clearly they have an issue with Kirkman Bey if they're going to bring, but Kudrow wears a black vest. Kirkman Bey brought that. How come he's repping Kirkman Bey? So clearly they have a problem with Kirkman Bey, but they're going to come at Kudrow, who's not Kirkman Bey, have nothing to do with Kirkman Bey, read the letters from Emily Ill, punking Kirkman Bey for being a fraud, read the letters from the court that Emily Ill won the court case when they tried to take him to court, but they're not going to go talk to those dirty Moors. They're going to come at Kudrow. Like Kudrow did something. Rami is going to come at Kudrow like Kudrow's the problem. Like, I'm not the problem. Just like Hebrew, Michael Edwards. You have a list, you have a letter with names on it. If you have a letter with names on it talking about Moors doing cuff stuff, Moors doing cuff stuff, their names in it, but you're going to say all Moors. All Moors are doing this. Moor Science Temple needs to do something because this is looking bad on all the Moors. No, it's not. It's looking bad on those Moors whose name's on the letter that you got. My name's not on no letter. My temple's not on any letter. So don't affiliate our temple with these bastards over here that are doing pedophilia porn or whatever. Right? There's no affiliation because we're not in their books. Just like Neal Bey just said, we haven't even been to no conventions. That's one of their people, Mr. Michael Edwards, if you're watching this, or if you're watching this. If you're watching this, Michael Edwards, keep in mind that a Moor messaged me about Moors talking BS about me. The Moors who are talking BS about me are down with the pedophilia Moors. So you can't say that all Moors, especially Moors affiliated with me, are down with that, because the pedophilia Moors are coming at me. Got the email right here. And I already told you, Michael Edwards, I gave you my email. Send me an email if you want to discuss what it is, so you can recognize not all Moors, just like I told you, not all Hebrews get raided by the FBI. So for me to say, well, one Hebrew Israelite got raided by the FBI, so that's on all Hebrew Israelites, that's some BS. Because we know some good Hebrews that never ever even been to jail, much less raided by the FBI. So don't do that, right? We know who these clowns are. We've been calling out these clowns. And stop calling them Moorish. They're not Moorish, they're Moriscos. Call them who they are, Morisco World TV. Don't call them Moorish. They're not Moorish. If they're in some pedophilia or whatever. Trust me, they're not Moorish. Right? Or Moorish Science Temple or Four Noble Drew Ali or nothing like that. Don't affiliate them with the true and faithful Moorish Americans. Right? Instead of promoting freaking Tarka Bay or whatever, why don't you promote the credit union that the Moors are starting up? Why don't you promote that? How come you guys don't talk about that? You know what I mean? And we're not going through no black source to get it, so don't even think of trying to start no propaganda or shut that down, because it's already approved. How come? You don't talk about the good that Moors do. I never talk about the good that Moors do. Always talking about BS that Moors did. Moors put people in slavery. Moors stealing houses. Moors this. Moors that. How about the Moors that saved people's life? How about those Moors? How about the Holy Quran of the Moorish Science Temple of America chapter that saved somebody's life, made them take the gun out of their mouth? Like real ones. Real serious ones. Where they said, you know what? This book just gave me something to think about that I never thought about before. I'm not going to blow my brains out today. I thought about it. Things were bad, but it's not really that bad. It's not that bad. Right? And there's people's personal stuff, crying on the phone and stuff like that. Like I come from youth counselor. I come from that realm. Right? So trust me when I tell you, Moors are calling Cujo and stuff like that. To find out about Moors, it's not some BS finding out about Moors. Right? It's like little sis that was at class on Sunday. She's trying to figure out how the hell to get her mother to not make accounts and her aunt to not do this and her uncle to not whatever and her what. These are all people who supposed to love and care for her or whatever. And she can't even trust them. She's coming to a temple to find some solace, some solitude. She's a single mother, deadbeat dad or whatever like that, tormented by her own family. But this ain't doing nothing for people. She's the happiest that she's been that she's on some more science right now. Islam to system at R.B.G because sis is rocking her bag hard. She doesn't leave without her bag. Ever since she got her bag, she's been rocking her bag hard. Right? To show you how serious it is with Moors that recognize what this is. Neal Bey and them people, matter of fact, Neal Bey and them people, they don't recognize what this is. Right? They don't recognize what this is. Right? Just to show you how crazy it is. This is how crazy it is. Right? This is how crazy it is. People talking BS. How are you talking BS about Cujo? Right? Why? What did I do to any of you people? Right? What did I do to any of you people? You people, when you were locked up and stuff like that, used to mail me. When you Moors were locked up or whatever, I'm the one you're sending mail to. Now, I'm dirty? How am I dirty when you were sending me mail? How? Please explain. I really want to understand. How is it that you're locked up, right? Let's get the date. You're locked up, but you're sending me mail. 8/24/08. 08. Right? Pages. Right? Pages. Right? From Neal Bey. From Neal Bey to Cujo L, Grand Sheik, his brother from the Arab chamber. Went to the Arab chamber, he was there. Now they're talking BS about Cujo. When you don't have to read the letters, just know I got letters. This is one. Right? This is one. They like to play with Cujo. Right? Again, letters. Right? If I'm so whatever, how are they sending me letters if I'm dirty? I'm dirty more, but they have nobody else to reach out to but send me stuff because they know my sincerity and that I'm going to reply and all that. Right? They know that they can send any more to me. Right? Letters from Neal Bey. But I'm dirty more though. Right? And this is what he wrote on the back. Right? Since I'm so dirty. Moors, we are royal. The flicks you sent show that the Moors in here will know of temple number 5. Allahu Akbar. But I'm dirty, right? Cujo's the bad guy, but he has the frickin' stacks of mail from Moors in jail. But I'm the bad guy. Cujo's the bad guy, but people are posting on Facebook pictures of DVDs and books and stuff that they got from Cujo, but Cujo's a bad guy. 3. Explain the sexual preference of the Moor who visited Chicago with you in '07, which doesn't make any sense to me, but we know how people believe what they hear without proof. So apparently, right, again, you know what I mean? Why don't they address the demons? How come they don't address the demons? They're going to go around, Neal Bey specifically, he's going to go around telling people that the assistant Grand Sheikh, Hanif Ali El, the assistant Grand Sheikh, and just to address that, because I know I can hear you guys already with your BS, he's not using Ali as a free national name. His free national name is El. He was ordained Ali by the Grand Sheikh Dawid Ali El. He was ordained Ali because he was the only one that had enough guts to come on the 14-hour bus trip. So the Moors there honored him by giving him Ali for his honor to the Moorish movement and to Prophet Noble Drew Ali. He earned that Ali that he got. So for Neal Bey, who was there, because he's the one talking BS about the assistant Grand Sheiks, he knows his sexual preference and stuff like that, right? And trust me, if I only tell him what Neal Bey is saying about him, like, he'll take that as like personal hurt, and his heart hurt, because he's always asking how's Neal Bey, and I always tell him, yeah, you know what I mean, I never told him really what's good, what's been going on. He thinks it's all still '07 Neal Bey. Right? So, you know, about time to let him know that Neal Bey is talking BS about him. Let's see if he's going to get on video and talk about some stuff. Let's him and Neal Bey have their own personal relationship, being, you know, he's assistant Grand Sheikh. And Neal Bey was Grand Sheikh of Carbondale. Right? But trust me, you know what I mean? More straight. He's not homo, he's not pedophile, he's not chasing trannies or nothing like that. Right? He's straight as a whistle. He's not in that stuff there. Why? Again, because he came up Rasta, we bottled those guys. Right? Just go listen to the songs. The Rastaman songs against the sodomy and the Gomorrah stuff. And you'll understand why I'd keep my mouth shut. Because with Fez, we really have authority. But we're going to humble ourselves. People think that we're mean. Just like Omar said, you know, a lot of you Moors, it's probably best that you stay Negro black colored. It's probably better for you to stay Negro black colored. Because the antics that you pull under Moorish law is going to make you lose your hand. You're going to make us cut your tongue off and stuff like that. That's where it would go. The Moors ruled. Right? Because people playing games out here. Slandering man who's straight. He's slandering a straight, somebody straight, that they're gay. And you know that, you know this individual. But Rami Salam El and these people, you know, Cujo's mean, we're going to let these guys slide. It's all about love our people, because, you know, they're our brothers too. Even though they're sellout niggers, they're our brothers, you know, love them. And then another 100 years is going to pass, and you'll still be sitting here with dirty Moors around you, telling you BS about the people who are doing good and doing right and trying to, you know what I mean, fix this issue of our people being where they're at. Right? Explain to Moors your position in the divine and national movement. My position in the divine and national movement is to be an inspiration to the people that are coming into this with their eyes wide open, that are tired of the BS and the games and the stupid stuff that they've been dealing with and everything else that they were a part of. If you're fed up, you're sick and tired of being sick and tired and all that stuff, then I'm the individual that the ancestors are going to send you to let you get on your path to righteousness through better sources than the ones that are out there. Right? Open door policy. You got my number, you can link me anytime. Anybody who has my number, they know that. Right? In 2 minutes, 5 hours, doesn't matter. It is what it is. That's my position. Right? All the accolade BS, like, that's not even nothing. Like I was telling Moor the other day, we were friends with the guys who had the Mustangs and the souped up whatevers, and you know, we go to a club, we get in free because we know that guy, right? Or we know the bouncer who works at the back door, or whatever. We were the hookup people. So, you know what I mean? Like, I know what being somebody is, and I don't want that job. Right? People play their game or whatever, all they want. You know, it's cool. I'll get down the game, put grand chic on the paper if that's what you want or whatever, but you're right. I'm Cujo L before anything. And nobody's going to be playing their little game, dangle titles over me. They're going to pull titles away because, you know, I set delegation of authority order, so, you know what I mean, they're going to pull my title away and try. You think that's going to stop me from telling our people about their birthrights? Crazy. Tripping. You Moors are straight tripping if you think that. Right? Explain to the Moors, last but not least, explain the relationship between you and Neal Bey for those who are on the outside looking in. Hope it wasn't too many questions. Islam to you and Canaanland Moors. So again, if people do not know, the only reason, there's no other reason that I'm where I am today in this is if it wasn't for R. Neal Bey, who, to even go further, who I know as Malik Shakur Bey, because we were taught when we were coming up that, you know, get rid of the European BS and have a free national name. That's what we were taught. So all the Neal Bey BS, I don't know what the hell. I know Malik Shakur Bey, but maybe that's why he's doing BS right now, because he's in the lower self. He's not in the higher self. He's not Malik Shakur Bey right now. He's Neal Bey. That's what he pushes. I'm Neal Bey. Okay, so Neal Bey is the lower Bey. That's not the Bey that supposed to be went through the Adab chamber and all that. Neal Bey is the nigger that just got out of jail. But we see where people are at based on what they call themselves. Dog shit Bey? Well, man, that's what you want to rep it as. But there would be no Canaanland Moors if it wasn't for Neal Bey. Why? Because MySpace, when I'm looking, trying to find out about Noble Drew Ali and the Moorish Divine and National Movement, and like everybody else trying to find out what this is about, bumping into brick walls and bumping into dirty Moors and bumping into churches with fezzes on and churches with turbans on and pastors saying Islam, I was very skeptical. But the imagery of Noble Drew Ali, those few pictures, mainly the one in the white when he's wearing the fez, the one with the purple background, and the one with the hand on the book. Those were the pictures that were most frequent when I first came into the movement, right? As far as on MySpace, like those were the pictures that you would see all the time or whatever. So Neal Bey was the only one that said, well, if you want to know about it, why don't you come and check, come see what it is. I mean, I'm talking about a good amount of Moors, right? A good amount of Moors I was building with. And one out of all those Moors said, if you want to know, come check it out. I can tell you, but like if I tell you, it's not really going to really do it justice. Like you have to see what this is about. You know what I mean? Now, little did I know then that he's talking about your own plates, fork fleet cars, people taking your bags, Moors wearing jalabiyas, the same color as their fez. No matter what color their jalabiya was, their fez was that color. All the heads had yellow tassels. Right? There was a theme kind of running of some organization on some other levels. Forget what you see these Moors say they look organized because they take a picture on the steps. Yeah, Moors organized because, you know what I mean, we're looking like the convention picture right now. No, we're not talking about pose on Moors. Not talking about Moors for a picture. We're talking about, like we always use the example of when after we got picked up, the Moor had to stop off at a fabric store. And when the Moor opened the door to the fabric spot, like everything stopped while he walked up to the counter. Like everything stopped. Like everybody in the store stopped. And they freaking looked. And then there's a Moor with a blue jalabi on, with blue trousers, black shoes with a blue fez. Right, this is what they saw when the door opened. Everybody turned. And then the people who worked there left who they were with to go attend to him. Now, usually one person would go because, you know, like why would 3 people need to, you know what I mean? 3 people who were working there left who they were with to go, you know, give him his, you know what I mean, how you doing, you know what I mean, you know, welcome back, whatever like that, and then went back to whatever they were doing. Now, this is the level of Moors that we came up under. When I say we, I mean me and Neal Bey. So how is it that he's against what, like I said, they had their own tags in Chicago. Their own tags. They didn't have Illinois plates. They had their own tags. Free. Neal Bey knows this. He was there. He's seen it. He was in the car. Right? So, you know, to elaborate on the relationship is futile because what I already said should let you know who's who and what's what. What's real and what's fake based on what I said and what I showed already. Right?